The project came about because of my work as co-chair of the statewide domestic violence fatality review team. I was co-chair on that team with the Florida Attorney General's office for over 10 years. And the fatality review team reviews domestic violence homicides to see whether there are any missed opportunities or places where there could have been interventions that may have prevented the homicides. And the statewide team, 2 years in a row, reviewed homicides where the victim, each of those victims had completed the injunction for protection petition on their own and filed it. And unfortunately, possibly because they did it on their own, they did not include all of the necessary information relating to the violence and the threats. So the judges didn't have that information that they needed to issue the temporary injunction pursuant to the statute. Out of the team's discussions came a about those cases, came a recommendation that we should seek funding from the Florida Attorney General's office. It's VOCA funding, Victims of Crime Act funding, to provide free attorneys for survivors seeking injunctions who can represent the survivors from the very beginning. They can help them file the petition all the way through the civil injunction process and represent them at the final hearing. Being on the domestic violence fatality review team certainly opened my eyes to the fact that so many survivors don't have lawyers to help them navigate the court system. And that's true not just in civil injunctions, but in family court. And oftentimes the batterer is the one who has the money to hire a lawyer. So, you know, when you see that there's homicides that can occur, I think to myself, well, maybe, we don't know for sure, obviously, but maybe if this person had had someone standing, if this victim had had someone standing with her throughout the system to navigate the justice system, and seek an injunction, perhaps we would have saved a life. I think what's resonated most when advocating for victims is the resilience and bravery of the survivors. I just, over the years, I've just been amazed at the survivors who have to endure abuse at home and then oftentimes have to navigate systems, even when they have help, that can often re-victimize them or blame them what's happening. And I think that having seen that in what I feel is an injustice, that's what's made this my life's work. I want there to be justice and not injustice.